Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Football Politics, where we discuss the beautiful game known around the world as well as the things surrounding it. Today, we're going to continue the series, the Top 10, as we take a look and discuss the current form of European teams and make them into a top 10 based on their current progressive form after each week throughout the season. Last time, we took a look at the uh, top 10 based on the end of last season, and now we're looking forwards towards the start of this new season. So, while the timing of this video, not all of the leagues have started, not all of the teams have actually played. I am being very lenient. This is probably the last time I will be lenient with this list, just because some teams were given that extra rest, and some of the leagues don't necessarily start always at the exact same time. We even have the transfer window extending normal beyond its normal limit. Yeah, a lot of interesting things that are happening right now. But football is back. It's wonderful to at least see league play, as long as you're doing it in the best way possible. I know that in some places, they are allowing fans, but that's always down to that league, that club, and obviously the country and the way their policies are set up. So anyway, we're going to take a look. Last time when we did it, if you'd like to go see that top 10 of last season, please check it out. But here we go. We're going to look at the top 10 after the start of the season. As I discussed, and I've put this video, I've recorded it actually the same day uh, after the last video, just because I was trying to catch up. Things didn't start when I wanted it to get the first video uploaded, and now here we are. Just we'll be back on track after this one. So we're going to start from first and work our way down to 10th as normal. So here we go. In first place, we have Bayern Munich. Really nothing to say here. Is again, we're being very lenient because all the teams have just started, but um, first place in the league so far. I mean, with a one win, but a convincing win. Don't tell Barcelona fans what the score was, but they'll at least say, "Well, we got two." They defeated Schalke 8-0. Gosh, must not have been a fun day for Schalke for sure. I mean, there's Sunday leagues and pickups and stuff like that, and you can always have a very bad game where you maybe lose, your 3-0, even possibly a 5, but 8-0. That is a lot to lose by, and at the professional level, it's quite gotta be devastating, and definitely a bad start mentally. So hopefully Schalke can shake that off and keep moving forward. But yeah, first place so far, Bayern Munich. I mean, there's not much to say other than they're continuing where they left off. It seems Lewandowski, he's on the score sheet already for the new season. Hey, who knows what will happen? I personally think that after this season, there's doubt, no doubt that he would have won the Ballon d'Or this year. I know that there's always controversy between how the person is chosen, how the votes are taken. There's things to be discussed with that, but um, for me, I mean, you have the argument of, well, most goals or most assists or the most trophies, yada yada. They not only did Bayern Munich win the treble, um, they had a man up front for them who put in work every single time and scored an enormous amount of goals. No, I can't really say much more than that. I think he wasn't necessarily overall the top goal scorer if we look at goals from all competitions, but still, you're leading the line and you're doing that much work every single game. Granted, you're in a great team, but still, you put on a show. I mean, we can't judge from the past few Ballon d'Ors. We'll exclude just for our argument, even though I think he deservedly was up on the podium at least. Luka Modric, but um, let's exclude his Ballon d'Or just for this argument's sake. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo's battle for winning Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or, and the insane records that they hold. Um, Lewandowski, he not only won the treble with his team, but like yes, he is in a good team, and we can't argue that Ronaldo and Messi are not in also great teams. I mean, when Ronaldo was at Manchester, Manchester was a very dominant team. When he was at Real Madrid, they were a very dominant team. Every year, maybe not every year, but still, when Messi was at Barcelona, they were a great team, and they still are a fantastic team. You cannot lie that they are not one of the top of the crop, the cream of the crop of Europe. Barcelona, just he has made them that. Obviously, others have before him as well, but still, both all three of them, right? They're dominating teams, and obviously now Ronaldo at Juventus is still a big team, right? You can't just argue that he's in a minnow team or something like that. Juventus is still a quality team. So, but going back, Lewandowski obviously he's done the business, right? He's not only done the business, he's won the business. He's won the treble. That's the most he could win. And now obviously coming up for Bayern Munich. They will be facing Sevilla for the Super Cup. I think that's a big competition, personally. I mean, you're taking the top from this competition, the top from this competition, and you fight against each other. Personally, I know that some people don't put as much stock in the Super Cup or the Club World Cup, but I think they're big competitions. You can't be a part of that trophy unless you've won either one of those big trophies. Not many teams can say they've come close or have at least won that trophy. I mean, so yeah, Bayern Munich first. I know it was a little bit of a rant in there, but I think Lewandowski clear favorite for Ballon d'Or this season. Had it not been postponed, and I honestly don't know why it's been postponed, because could have done it virtually. But we move forward. We move forward because we'll turn this video into something that it should be. But Sevilla in second for sure, because I don't think their season has yet to get underway. If I'm not mistaken, we'll just double check real quick. But just do a quick peek here. No, they haven't started yet. But I'm keeping them in second. Like I said, this is lenient. This is the last lenient or only lenient top 10 I can put together, because they're going to be facing Bayern Munich for the Super Cup. Imagine if they beat Bayern Munich and win the Super Cup. Guess who gets to go to the Club World Cup? Sevilla, not Bayern Munich. Sevilla's second for me. Still second from last one, but we'll start this as the first. But obviously it trails a little bit from last season. They had a fantastic season, like we discussed in the last video. Winning the Europa League, fourth in La Liga behind some giants in Real, Barcelona, Atletico. And yeah, they I think they've proven themselves for sure. And based on that last season, I'm still keeping them in second, even though they haven't played. And you'll notice there's a couple of teams also on here who have not played yet, but I'd still put them where they are because of last season, just because, So moving to third, we have if we're going to go from last top 10, bump up, but count this the first this season, Liverpool in third. 2 wins out of 2. I can't argue with that, right? You won all of your games that you've played. So Yeah, no, they have a lot to prove this season. It's very difficult in the Premier League, especially to retain the title. Manchester City have done it. They were hitting strides at the right time, and other people were just not doing as well. But for Liverpool, I mean, you make the statement to finally win the league again. Can you make the statement to hold the league? It's a very, very dicey topic. I know in the sport of boxing or UFC or any sort of competition like that, I suppose, or any competition in general, it's one thing to win it, but it is another to defend it, especially off the back of winning it. That's a lot of pride on the lines to do something like that, and it's very difficult because you have the hunger, the want to win something that you have not won in forever or for the very first time. And how do you mentally put yourself up again to continue to win it? Which I would argue for a lot of those big teams, you say, well, your Paris Saint-Germain in PSG, right? Your Barca, your Real Madrid, right? Your Juventus or your Bayern Munich, those dominant teams in their leagues, right? Well, you just expect them to win the league. But honestly, you still have to put in the work. You still have to want to win the competition. It's not just, well, we're just going to go out there, we're going to win it, and it's just going to be what it is. They still have to put in the effort. So Liverpool right now in third for me. We'll see how the season progresses, how they do, and they had a very scary first game, so we'll see how they do. Moving into fourth, moving some people up. Juventus. Again, they currently today, if I'm not mistaken, or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday actually. They beat Sampdoria 3-0, starting their campaign off in a good start. Obviously, you always want to start the season with a win. It gets you up the table. Obviously, you're not at the bottom. But from a manager's perspective, for Andrea Pirlo, certainly gives him a boost and backing from board fans, you name it. You keep winning, there's very little people who are going to ask you to leave or want you to leave. So yeah, I can't argue with that. So yeah, good start to their season so far. We'll see how their play continues under Andrea Pirlo, who, like many, possibly are confused how he got the position. I believe he hadn't even really done too much with the under 23s, and he's still working to get officially licensed. He may have already gotten those licenses. I apologize if I'm a little behind, but yeah, we're seeing some new tactics from him. It'll be interesting. Will he be as successful as other player managers? Obviously, Juventus had to cut costs, just like quite a few big teams, as we'll discuss, as had to do through this pandemic. So, a global pandemic. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited to see what they do, just like every other team. But when you get an icon like Pirlo, you're excited for them. You want to see them do good, right? Yeah, and he's playing for a club he used to play for, so that's always good. Just like Arteta at the Arsenal, you want to see him succeed, even if you're a and this may be going a bit over, but even if you're a Tottenham, you're a Spurs fan, right? Um, you you are still excited to see a rival rise up sometimes and challenge themselves, and brings back memories of competition and rivalry, yes, but you're still like, hey, that's it's wonderful for him to succeed. You want to see people succeed. If you're not excited for people to succeed, that's why they call you a hater, right? That's you're downplaying someone's success just because you don't like it. But obviously, right, Spurs would be like, oh, he can win all he wants as long as we're above him in the league table, or we beat him. But anyway, moving to fifth, we have Man City. They have not. They actually. No, they actually did. They just played Wolves today, when this video was recorded, and they got the win. A bit of a scary one, as well as all first games are. You're just trying to get back into the swing of things, even if it was a very shortened break. But yeah, they beat Wolves today. I believe it was 2-1. So they start their campaign off with a win. Exciting things to see there. Like we talked about last video, Pep's last year on his contract. What will happen? He's been around the bend now. He's managed in Spain for Barcelona in La Liga. He has managed Bayern Munich in Germany in the Bundesliga, and now Manchester City in the English Premier League. Um, yeah, it'll be very in England, I guess, or Great Britain. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he has planned, what his players have planned, because he's definitely brought in some good help. I think Nathan Atgay is definitely a good little addition for their defense. Spruces up that back line that needed to be spruced up. Um, and yeah, so good luck to Man City. They have a tough fight on their hands after not um, beating Liverpool and being a bit behind Liverpool, but obviously Liverpool had a reason to go for that title, right? They were very hungry to do so. So moving forward, we have six. We have Real Madrid. They have started their campaign with a draw, a goalless draw. So you can say, well, they didn't score any goals, they didn't win, so bad result, of course. You can look at it from the other perspective of they didn't concede any goals. And you got to understand that if you're going to win any competition that involves offense and defense, you have to have a good defense. Otherwise, you're going to be always, always paddling up a river, as they say. Um, and it's a struggle. So, yeah, maybe not the most creative game. We'll see what Zidane has planned. Obviously, again, first game of the season is always a toss up sometimes. You see huge score lines at the beginning, like you saw with Schalke and Bayern. And sometimes you see these games where people just aren't up to scruff. They're just not ready yet. You take a shot and it's not crisp, it's not clean. You're not in the rhythm. Yeah, it'll be interesting. They are now trying to retain the La Liga title again. Will they be able to do it? Just like we discussed with Liverpool. So, moving further, we have Inter. I moved them to seventh if we're considering a movement. But for the start of the season, I put them in second. Conte, wants to win the league. Obviously, they won the Europa League, or not. I'm sorry, they didn't win it. They were runners up. Apologize, Sevilla fans. Runners up in the Europa League, second in the league, and they lost to eventual winners in the Coppa Italia to Napoli in the semis, if I'm not mistaken. And so yeah, there's still work to be done there, and that's another the struggle of a team, right? If you win something, there's the struggle to win it again, right? Have the same hunger, and for someone who gets second, or if you're fighting for a European spot, if you win that spot, there's a lot of, well, we gave it everything and we didn't get it. So how do we give more or even the same to stay consistent or progress? I think honestly, I know we look back at his career possibly differently, obviously from the start of it to the end of it. It comes with the territory of how scouting's changed and how money is and TV has changed football. But Arsene Wenger consistently getting fourth in the Premier League, I think, is something to now a lot of teams would chomp at the bits to have. I know there wasn't necessarily the progression from that Champions League spot, but they were consistent to get it, and that still takes a lot of mental strength and effort to do so. So, I mean, I think Arsene will definitely be regarded as a legendary coach for the Premier League. But um, yeah, we'll see how Inter decide. With the Conte. Um, I mean, there were talks that he was going to leave after one season. I don't know. But he's stuck around. He's got his firepower up top with Lukaku, and as far as we know right now, yeah, he's staying. Lautaro Martinez is staying for right now. Um, there's still some window open, but yeah, they've got a very strong squad. Sounds like I believe what was it? Is Vidal, right? Arturo Vidal is leaving Barcelona to go to Inter as well. Maybe not the youth, but definitely the experience, and he's going to put in the shift. You cannot argue at Arturo Vidal, while he may not have the legs like he used to, he will still put in a shift for his manager. So that can always be expected from him. Moving forward, we have in eighth place. I'm going to put Barcelona. They have a lot to prove as well this season, don't they? And it's going to be rocky with Ronald Koeman at the helm. Is it what Barcelona fans want? I ask you, if you're a Barcelona fan, is that what you want? Are you okay with Ronald Koeman coming in and being the manager for even a minimum of a year? If you're still expecting or would like the idea that's been floated around of Xavi coming back. And again, there's another example of a legendary icon player for your club who you are excited about and would want to see them do well from any club, right? Because of their status. And maybe to some degree you don't give Arteta that specifically. I definitely think you give that to Zidane, even though he's played in other places besides Real Madrid. Just like Pirlo, he also played at AC Milan, but he's still, Um, but I think you can definitely give that to Xavi if he becomes the coach of Barcelona in the future. You never know. Obviously, it's dependent on the presidential election or lack thereof. If a suspicious petition happens that I've read about. But yeah, they've got a lot to prove. Second in the league, uh, lost the way they lost to Bayern Munich, even though they were the winners. They have to, dig in their heels and really push and show to the rest of Europe that they are a force to be reckoned with still. That they will not be cast aside because of one bad season, even if it was by some a terrible season or just a falter and a big trip and face plant, if you will, towards the end. I it will be exciting to see what Koeman has planned with all of his players at hand, how he will get the best out of them, how he will position them, how they will interact and play with together. I'm certainly hoping, regardless of what has happened and conspired over the past, what is it, couple months with even if it's been that long with Lionel Messi. I hope he has a great season. I hope he does well because not only does La Liga and the rest of the football world need it. Um, we the, we as fans we want him to do well, right? Um, for the love of the game, you want to see the best players be at their best, no matter who they are, right? I, for one, would never want to see anybody injured and out. But I think especially for Barcelona fans, that they need Leo to be there, and that's tough with all that has gone around him recently, regardless of what side of that coin you're on. But yeah, good luck to him. Good luck to Barcelona. They've got a lot to prove. Moving on to ninth, I'm going to bring that to Atlanta. I hope and pray that they are not a Lille, a Monaco. Um, and that they can be a Dortmund, or currently I consider Leipzig, right? Atlanta had a great last season. Um, they we'll see if they can survive with the players that they have, if they can push and keep fighting for those European spots. It'll be interesting. They've definitely been on the cusp for a few seasons. It's not like last season was a fluke by any means, but they definitely pushed above their weight, I think, and they played some great football. We'll see if they can fix their defensive problems, but what club doesn't have defensive problems? I mean, even the best teams in Europe have the defensive problems, which is why there's a need for the center backs, and not just any center backs, but quality ones. So, um, lastly, in 10th, we're going to put who I had as an honorable mention last video. I'm going to put RB Leipzig. Now, you're wondering maybe, well, where's PSG? You had them at second for the end of the season. I don't know about PSG. Currently, they've lost 2 of their 4 games. I don't think that's good. Do you think that's good? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. But they have not started well, and I'm worried for Tuchel if I believe that's how you say his name, Thomas Tuchel, um, for his job. You want the players to perform well, of course, and there's a lot of man management there, a lot of egos for those superstars, but that comes with the territory, right? If you're going to manage a club like Paris Saint-Germain, you have to do the work, make the players fit and play well, right? Yeah, I'm worried whether or not their season will actually um, be a good one. Will they maybe just win the league but fizzle out in Champions League? Will they have another strong showing in the Champions League? I don't know. Could this be the year that another French team steps up to the plate and really pushes like Inter did with Juve last season, and possibly dethrone PSG? Don't know. If anybody, if I'm going to put my money on 1 or 2 teams for this, I would definitely, if you have not seen how they play, or just look at the results of last season, my goodness, take a look at Marseille and take a look at Rennes. Both of those teams have a good chance to really push PSG this season. Rennes would actually be along with PSG just because it's PSG, right? At least this early on, are my honorable mentions. I think Rennes had a wonderful season last year, and if they keep it up, they have a real strong chance. Again, it's unfortunate, maybe because of financial situations or just how the club is set up, that you can't sustain that level of competition. That's something I worry about for Inter, or not Inter, for Atlanta. You've seen Dortmund and Leipzig so far. They're coping very well by being able to sell some of their top players and still do very well in the league. Maybe one day they hold on to those players, right? Then maybe they push. You don't know. But they've been making it work, and you cannot argue that those players have gotten a lot of success from those clubs that have definitely brought them to the spotlight. And that's not just the club, right? That's the players too doing their work, showcasing their skills. But yeah, for me, Leipzig takes the 10th spot. They have an exciting season ahead of them as well. They're going to be ahead of Rennes and PSG. PSG because of their poor start so far, their squad frailties right now, and their possibility of a big managerial spot being opened up. Like it or not, there's a Pochettino is still out there. It'll be interesting. Does he fill the role of PSG? Is that his next move? yeah, it we'll see. But yeah, that wraps up the top 10. I hope you loved it. If you did, please leave a like. It's very much appreciated in getting these started and continued. I really appreciate it. Even if you just watched it, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you really liked it, you can always subscribe. I will continue to follow up with these every week and give you a new top 10 as the season progresses, and we will go from there. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful morning, day, evening, night, wherever you are, happen to watch. Thank you so much, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.